Largely because the sales manager didn't understand the brand use. Okay, so quickly, what business is the brand really in? And here I'm going to slightly disagree with what Tara said, or maybe slightly simplify what Tara said. One of the mistakes I believe that companies do is that they write mission statements. And when they write their mission statements, they don't listen to the consumer. It's sometimes a little too much of the inward ego coming out. Mission statements are always written in conference rooms. Okay? By a committee, or sometimes puts it and then it's passed. But the truth behind a brand is actually quite different. Starbucks. So what business is Starbucks in? Anybody? How many said coffee? Go to the back of the class. You haven't understood brands at all. Sorry? Lifestyle? Experience? What experience? Every brand is an experience. Sorry? Very nice. The third space you can call your own. Have they given up on that? Correct. But then new, yeah. I didn't see much of this truth in the new execution. People on the move need a place beyond their home and office that they can call their own. I'm sort of seeing more social service, one cup, one place. They seem to be moving away from this. So I was a little worried for them. But that's what they've been doing now. Is that in South Africa or all over the world now? All over the world. I think they blinked because they've forgotten the business they were really in, which is a third space you can call your own. If that calling your own is extension of the neighborhood, then good. If that's where is it headed? I can't see that as yet. What about this brand? So what business is the brand in? FCUK?
Styling.
Clothing? Join the others who said coffee.
Styling.
Sorry?
Style.
Fashion. Still. Zika, back here. Back of the class. Attitude. Rebellion. Who said rebellion? Were you at the workshop that I did last time? Okay, no. Yeah. Helping people be rebellious without breaking the law. You said passion. Passion is not. It's actually you taking off the hijab and rebelling. What FCUK does for many people who like to want to rebel with their parents is, it's FCUK, nothing. It's FCUK. No, you're misunderstanding. It's FCUK. And the kids have a ball. It's how to say without getting caught or without being reprimanded. And they all want to do it. One brand discovered it, and that's the business they're in. Helping people be rebellious without breaking the law. And the tribe of FCUK grows. There's one unfortunate thing for the agency that created it. What's the advertising budget of FCUK? Very small. So I have a theory why people don't co-create brands. Because you'll reduce the advertising budget. Yeah, it's true. Because when you start off with something that people... So what was Siddharth's advertising budget when he started Buddhism? Zero. He had a fantastic idea which people wanted to pass on. Ideas is actually the currency. You do not need money to start a brand. I'm going to prove that to you in a little while. You don't need money to start a brand. You need a fantastic idea that connects. I know. And you are the guys, clients, who made them out of their business because you're not paying them to be in the business you should be in. Yeah. But you don't know how to measure your brand. What you know how to measure is sales. So currently you don't have a measurement for brand other than some experts saying, three years profits, your GNP for the last 3 years was this much, therefore I will forecast it and it will become that much, that is your brand value, and this is what people will buy it at, and therefore that's brand value. Terrible. It has no connect with people. It's how much money you can make. Very, 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 very wrong brand valuation. And the thing is, the whole of the dot-com boom and bust went exactly like that, and I can see the whole thing happening again. Flipkart is going to go bust. Because they're not making profit. They're getting their funding from GMV. What is sales? And they're discounting that sales. Okay? Alright. So what business is this brand in? Imagination, dreams?
Amusement.
Fantasy? Who pays for this brand?
We do.
There, Julie saying parents. The parents pay for it. And here's the value that the parents get. Disney is about helping adults bond with their children. And nowadays the kids are not liking it. Because usually Disney adults were once Disney children and they want to relive their childhood through their kids. And the kids are rebelling. They're going playing Pokemon Go. But they've understood. So Disney is getting to be in trouble because more kids are rebelling in a far younger age. But this is the truth that Disney was built on. There is a child in every adult. Is that true?
Very
true. Zika, you asked me what the insight is. Please don't use the word insight anymore. Because, like Kara said, it's been done to death. It's been overused so much that nobody understands the meaning anymore. Which is why I prefer to say obvious emotional truth that a brand can be based on. This is something that you need to know if you need to co-create a brand. The moment you know this, people on the move need a place beyond their home and office that they can call their own. You will be able to sell the coffee, the sandwiches, all the services at a much higher premium. Because if you like, they're paying for the real estate to have their own office there, or to have their business space there, have a place to rest there. Okay? Because they don't have an office and they don't have a home where they can go. Young people like being rebellious without breaking the law. There's child in every adult. Is this true? Every adult feels nostalgic about their childhood. Is this true? How many of you agree? That's the reason why Paperboat is such a strong brand. Probably in India, that's the last or the most recent brand. Have you all heard about Paperboat?
No.
It's in the business of nostalgia. It's not in the business of dreams. It is in the business of nostalgia, which means they can actually move well beyond dreams. Children like food that is fun to eat. Is this true? Which brand in Nepal owns this? And unfortunately, YY doesn't know it. They still think they're selling noodles. When actually, they've had an accidental breakthrough by the fact that you can have that YY dry, mix it up. I don't even boil it. And I have it like a muri. Okay? Kids love it. Parents know that they love it. And it's not the same thing as Maggi noodles anymore, which had a truth for the mother. Alright. So, have you understood this? This actually is, if you've got this, the consumer will co-create the brand for you. If you stay true with it. we stay just true to this business because this is the emotional need that they have. Adults need to bond with their children. Deliver that, they'll be happy. So I'd now like to disclose this myth that big brands require large advertising budgets. And like Bharat says, everybody in the advertising industry will hate me for it. Okay? It's true. If they understand this, no? I agree. But you have to pay them. You can't still pay them based on budget.
I'm not a client, I'm a human being.
No, you're a human being. But you're the only one who spent so many years in Unilever. And you're the only one who represents a whole lot of clients who follow what Unilever does and follow what P&G does and follow what Coca-Cola does. And then they negotiate, so the advertising industry was doing well as long as they got 15% of commission. Okay? Which is why advertising, the erstwhile advertising industry, was never good at packaging because clients didn't give us 15% of commission on packaging. We only knew how to do flat logos. We couldn't design packaging for the life of us. But because TV paid us well, we became good at TV. Now that 15% commission is dying out and it's on fees, there's a purchase officer from the client side who negotiates that fee down and negotiates it down till advertising agencies can no longer pay for good talent. It's time the Marcom business reinvented itself and discovered its own truth. So, what do people tick the most often when asked, how did you get to know about our brand? This could be one of Bharat's quiz questions, but it's actually got a pretty simple answer if you've been studying marketing for a long time. Is it TV, radio, press, outdoor, internet, mobile, events, or friends and relatives?
Friends and relatives.
By far.
Yeah.
So where's friends and relatives on your media plan? And the reason it's not on your media plan is that you don't get paid for it. It's not on your media plan. You're not even thinking in that medium. First of all, now, fortunately, Cannes has a Titanium Award, which is almost based on what co-creation. Otherwise, all creative awards don't even look at what the consumer wants. They look at what other creatives want. And that's what awards are. Creative people congratulating themselves because, and the judgment procedure is this: I wish I had done that. That's the only criteria for judgment for creative awards. I wish I had done that. And if it's a piece of art that they wish they'd done, they give it an award. The world's most powerful medium, ladies and gentlemen, is the consumer. But I told the consumer is a bad word. So I had to invent another word, or not invent, I now use the word prosumer.
What's a prosumer?
Prosumer is actually invented by Alvin Toffler in his book Future Shop, and he meant it as the cusp between professional and consumer. But in the world of word-of-mouth marketing, prosumer means someone who recommends the brand to another person without getting paid for it. So it's not multi-level marketing. Okay? They recommend the brand because they want the brand. I'm part of the tribe, I wanted to join that tribe. Those are real prosumers. So, it's not really about advertising versus word of mouth. Don't worry, your futures are safe. It's advertising into word of mouth. If your advertising is not going to generate word of mouth, it is a waste of money. It's a complete waste of money because you will have to hammer it into his head and see how many Facebook insertions I can get and how much I have to pay for it so that I know I have this effect on people. Okay. Whereas, why would I pay Facebook when I know the consumer will also already pass the idea? if the idea is strong. If the idea is not strong, they won't share it in any case. Facebook used to have a good idea in saying, your post like this is doing well. Do you want more people to see it? I think that's damn good. Because now they're telling me which of my ideas is doing well. Now I put some money behind it so that more than my circle. Is that still on?
Yes.
Anand, is that still on? Yeah, okay.
What?
पोस्टमा के पोस्ट गरेछ भने यो पोस्ट इज परफर्मिङ वेल डु यु वान्ट टु
So the word advertising might actually be out of date. It's probably as out of date as the word typewriter. How many of you use a typewriter?
Have
Still
you?
use a typewriter?
Oh, still.
But you do, yeah, so antique value. But you do use the QWERTY keyboard. So the principle of what worked in a typewriter, designed to make typewriting slow, because that's actually all the most used alphabets are in the wrong place. Because typewriters used to stick if you typed too fast. So somebody invented the QWERTY, but because it's a habit, we still use the typewriting keyboard in computers, which can do thousands more things than a typewriter can. Okay? Because it's the force of habit. Fortunately, advertising or brand building is really like that. The same principle that used to work for good advertising now also works for co-creating brands. And here's some further bad news for the copywriter. How many copywriters here? How many copywriters? In the future world, the consumer is going to be the copywriter. It's what the consumer writes or says that co-creates a brand. Fortunately, all current copywriters are now promoted to creative directors because you have to still give the copywriter the idea on which to write. So your job hasn't entirely gone away. You still have to give them the idea they want to talk about, the idea they want to share. And that doesn't necessarily have to be in a beautiful movie. Because if the mom relates to dirt is good, she will tell others. She will tell others. Okay. So, just to prove that the advertising word might be out of date, is this 21st century advertising? You go to a mall or an airport and you see somebody taking a photograph with an iPad. Yeah? Where's the headline? Where's the copy? Or is it great product design? Because the product is now the ad. Because that person is a walking, talking co-creator of the Apple brand. He doesn't have to think. He just has to be faithful to his tribe. In acting. How many of you know this brand called Legs? All women who wear skirts and have a Western mindset will know Legs. It's a stocking. Okay? And because of the pun on the word legs, they designed the packaging in the shape of an egg so that women didn't have the embarrassment of taking stockings. Because stockings is like, displaying your underwear if you're taking it in a shopping bag. So they designed it as an egg. And then the consumers started putting the egg packaging on their dressing table, or in their bathrooms, etc., so that when other women come, they get to see that she has legs of that premium stocking brand. But they would use keep pins and little things over there. So that packaging became an advertising idea. So is that advertising or is it a packaging idea?
Packaging.
And we in advertising were terrible at packaging in any case. Time will change. Because ideas have to be something that the consumer is going to share or participate in a manner that they allow to co-create it. Is this 21st century advertising? Do you have any doubt about what that store is promising? 99 cents only. And do you have any doubt that anybody who goes and shops there and gets a product that they like will talk about it?
Yeah, sure.
That's the only advertising they need. 99 cents, written up big. So is that advertising or is it a pricing idea? Have you people heard of barter pricing? Yeah. Long time ago, $25.99, they still follow it. But there are pricing ideas that can be word of mouth. Which brand? Is Domino's there in Nepal?
No.
Okay. But you would probably know
Yeah.
that their thought is within 30 minutes I will deliver. Very simply, somebody worked out that after 30 minutes they eat something else, they don't need the pizza anymore. If I've ordered and I'm feeling hungry, I can't wait for more than 30 minutes for it. So they worked this out, remember I said common sense? And they made this the platform that people passed on 30 minutes. I need to quickly tell you a story about this. Yeah, no, it's okay. When Domino's went online, their 30-minute strategy was still there. Somebody in the middle of the prairies ordered a Domino's pizza online, hundreds of miles away from any Domino's outlet. So they hired a helicopter and delivered it
Wow.
for the story appeal. I believe it landed late, so they apologized. Okay, but sorry, you should try. You'll suddenly become a hero because Domino's will be contacting you. All right. But is it 21st century advertising or is it a brand building policy? Because the Domino's brand managers now see, okay, I want sales from here, therefore I should put a little shop, not too much space for people to sit down. Because my business is delivered within 30 minutes. I need a kitchen, I need a place, yeah, there'll be some walk-ins, but most of my business is going to be delivery. In most Apple shops, parents leave their children at a Mac and then they go off shopping. Apple doesn't mind at all. Why? Habit formation.
Yeah.
So this is just a simple idea of
Develop
I want
habit.
technology to be easy. This is great. Because those kids will not touch a PC after that. After they've got this experience. And the parents will also be so grateful. But in any case, the parents were probably Apple fans in the first place. And that's how, so this is like tribe building. Generation after generation after generation will follow the rituals of Apple. So this is a P that most of us do not design because clients don't pay us for it. Purchase experience. Instead, they go to retail planners, people who are professional in retail, and I found most of the people who are in retail management have very little idea about what a brand is. They don't even ask the question. They don't even ask the question, what business are you in? They do a cookie cutter approach. See, you're a pizza, therefore your retail shop should look like this. Okay? You're a clothing. So their business is clothing. Their business is not. Because then the retail experience becomes completely different. The moment you understand that it's FCUK. Let me explain the concept of prosumer a little. If the doctor on this side recommends to this old gentleman who's come for a checkup because he's feeling his head is hurting a bit, and recommends, say, Crocin, which is an over-the-counter brand, will any amount of paid advertising be able to convince the gentleman on the right to change the brand?
No.
Now, every product category or service category has an opinion leader. Everyone. Whether it's a car, whether it's a mobile phone, whether it's shoes, there's an expert in your range that you know that you will consult. Okay? Raymond's, do you people know the Raymond's brand?
Of course.
Okay? It says the complete man. Who do you think is the audience? Who buys, who makes the purchase? Sorry? The woman accompanying the complete man.
Yeah.
Because the behavior said, men can't decide of what suiting color to have. They can't decide. They will always have a sister or a wife or a mother or somebody along with it. So what they found was women like sensitive men. And then what they created is a tribe of sensitive men and called it the complete man. That's why the Raymond man picks up a pup, wheels a friend in a wheelchair. It's a sensitive man that the woman is liking. Okay? Anyway, back to prosumers. Prosumers. Now, sophisticated brands have prosumer policies where you do not pay. I know that in many places, the doctor is now paid to recommend. The moment that happens, he is no longer a prosumer because he's been paid, he's been corrupted. As far as the tribe building goes, he's been corrupted. The trick is to create priests in your brand culture who will recommend and advise the rest of the followers, and developing those priests is actually an important part of co-creating brands. Is this 21st century advertising? Do you know which brand is being promoted? Harley Davidson? Who pays for this ad? The consumer pays for the ad. Because it's a brand. I want to be part of that tribe. To be part of the tribe, I will happily pay for this. So is that, or is it a promotion that generates its own revenue? See, as it is, the advertising people would hate me because I'm reducing the budgets. Now I'm saying that actually your job is to generate revenue, not spend your client's money. Find ideas that will generate revenue for the brand. I promise you, the moment you do that, the clients will love you for it. And you will be able to renegotiate with them the fees because the purchase manager will be out of it. You will suddenly be generating a revenue line for them. Okay. And there are many. So what's tended to happen is the erstwhile advertising agency is slowly being sent to do the layouts. You know, put the logo here, put the product here, say this, and the client is dictating what you have to do. If you do not understand the brand, if you've not understood what business the brand is really in. How many of you are art directors here? Or not too many? So let me share with this thought. Do consumers pay to be part of your branding idea? You can figure out that Harley Davidson is a recurring theme for me. The hair. So who pays for this ad?
Consumer.
The tattoo. Who's paying for this ad?
The consumer.
It's an ad. Is the consumer a walking, talking tribe member?
Yes.
Co-creating brand?
Yes.
The consumer's paying for it. Remember that adult who wants to bond with the child? Who pays for the Disneyland trip? But as an event experience, Disney is supposed to give this for free, no? You're getting a brand experience, therefore it should be free. No. But this is still in the business of there's a child in every adult. Okay? And that's another conversation I need to have with you about Legoland. Okay? I need to understand what's happening and why it crashed. You've been co-creating this brand. Who paid for this brand?
We did. We did.
I'm not saying no. They did. 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 They did.
We did.
So one of the things I was thinking of doing, and which is why I wanted the break, is I wanted to show the co-creating of brands and use. Then would it be possible to have a shot of the audience? These co-creators, just put it up on screen for me. So give yourselves a round of applause. You've been co-creating a brand. You are already co-creators. Because as long as you get value from this experience, you'll come back again next year. Okay? Right? Alright. Next, this again. How many of you have heard of a brand called Tom's Shoes? Tom's Shoes spends very little on advertising on their internet site, which is where you can buy Tom's Shoes. These are moccasins, which is very fashionable to wear in America. People are devoted to Tom's Shoes because they feel good, they look good. Just as much as a tribal woman they're wearing that full together feels good, looks good, feels an identity, the Tom's shoe wearer also feels an identity. So modern co-created brands build word of mouth into product, pricing, packaging, placement, purchase experience, promotion, consumer policy, and profit policy. 4 of those P's you've heard of. In co-creating brands, you have to add the other 4 P's. Because it's the consumer policy which will get you to co-create. It's that purchase experience which will get you to get the consumer to co-create. And of course, you can spend on promotions. But if you're very, very wise, you'll create self-financing promotions. Because now you know that the person wants the t-shirt. You're not just giving it away. The moment you give it away, and the person may wear it for one sales conference, and that's it. Okay. If your brand is based on an emotional need that resonates, the consumer becomes your co-creator. So you need to look for that one secret. What's the obvious emotional truth on which your brand can be based? All it takes is common sense. All it takes is empathy. All it takes is walking out and meeting people. You cannot find it in conference rooms. You cannot find it in big data. You cannot find it in market research reports. Because of pure market research reports, because of this priority and insight, oh guys, every slide they have to say the insight is. The insight is. How I know is that I have to train IMRP on presentation skills. They're under such pressure. Every second slide has to have an insight. But all you needed was one emotional truth. Okay. So instead of market share, I recommend the measurement of consumer quotient. So what's that? The average number of converts a believer creates. How does Christianity work? You produce the next tribe member, or you convert someone into Christianity. Islam works like that. Hinduism works like that. Buddhism works like that. You can either beget the next generation, or you convert somebody who has lost their way, who is emotionally a little unsure. And then when you provide them that emotional solace, they become followers of your brand. Okay? Again, I'm getting into your territory, sorry. Okay? So, literally, consumer quotient is the consumer as a co-creator. So, there's a digital agency in Bangladesh that has created this algorithm. It's an app that you add to your sales management process, and it tells you where that sales came from. which is the consumer who begat the next consumer. Okay? But it doesn't do multiple level marketing. Okay? It abstains from it. Okay? Co-creating brands is actually very easy. Here's what you need to know. Listen, befriend, solve, share, curate brand champions. By the way, I've given you my entire course for social media marketing. I know a digital agency is really a digital agency by asking one question. Who listens to the consumer online? And if you don't have somebody who's listening to the consumer online, you're not really a digital agency. You're not really a digital, nor are you a social media wing. If you're pushing messages like advertising used to do, I can assure you that the person you're pushing the messages to is blanking it out. They're moving on. Unless you've got an idea which they're already waiting to share, then you can start using that and amplify it. Okay? The rest of it is a waste of money. So here's how I built my business. I knew that my business was coming from entrepreneurs across the world. So I just do this, search self-employed. And now, of course, when LinkedIn is coming, it's so easy to find people who are self-employed. Then I go and befriend them. I do not push brands. I do not ask them to please visit my site. I see what conversations they're currently happening, and I try and see their pain point. Then I solve that pain point for them for free. Okay? Two things happen. If it's a complete solution, they know about the Unibrands brand and they become my prosumers. Okay? They help. So, solving, and you cannot do that solving unless you're listening. So, Lufthansa has a fantastic social media team which listens to social media. You probably know the example how Lufthansa started this craze of having a Santa Claus giving you gifts every Christmas. What they did was even better originally. They knew that people were going home for Christmas. They were listening to the conversations, and the social media team had a $5 budget. Up to $5, please buy a gift and hand it over to that person as he's walking into the airline. This one is for your mom. Wow. This one is for the brother you bullied. Wow. Okay? And that's the connect, and sure, they became more, because they were listening. They were not passing messages, Lufthansa is the greatest airline, it is always on time, it is Germanic, it is, etc., etc., etc. And yes, you need to solve, and they will share. They will share what your brand is about. Okay? You just need to curate brand champions. Yesterday I was talking to a team of people who has a job site. I was asking them, what is your success rate on the job sites? How many people have got jobs? He said, we've got thousands. So, have you made them brand champions? Oh, why? Because they're your proof that you can get people jobs. All you need to do is put them up on your website saying, I got a job. If you want to spend money, book an ad in Himalayan Times saying, I got a job. Everybody will start coming. Because that person who's put up the job, see, remember in our everything, why do we get educated? To get a salaried job. Right? So that we can get married.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Yeah. For men, at least for parents, that's it. Education, salaried job, government, very good. I'm not too sure. In India, that's definitely true. Something that cannot be thrown out of. And that decides your dowry. Okay. This economics they've understood. And which is why there is a whole industry in Kota which educates people how to get into a university. And people pay a lot just to do that. So anyway, your existing customers, if you're an existing business, you've probably got hundreds and thousands of walking, talking co-creators. Listen to them, connect with them, make them your brand champions. Share the idea and they will share it. If they love the idea, there's nothing like that. It's the reason why the Dove film and the Dove identity thing got shared so many times, because it connected with the Dove person, it connected with the non-Dove person and created connects. And it's actually as easy as learning to ride a motorcycle. So, 1 hour was probably not enough to create that motorcycle, but you're welcome to get in touch. If I can help you then tell me your pain and I will try and solve it. Okay? Because that's what I've learned as well. And finally, thank you for co-creating Nepal. You guys have done it. Come earthquake, come Narendra Modi. You still co-created.
Big hand. Big hand for Sumit, ladies and gentlemen. He himself is a brand, as you know, tribe after tribe following him. And I apologize for telling you to FC UK off so quickly, because I know you had much more in your presentation, but we have to eat lunch, and far more important than talk. I always believe. No disrespect, sir. Let's call on stage from Outreach Nepal, Ujaya Sakya, to give away this lovely set of gifts. Ujaya, you can come forward, and you can reach Sumit online at a discounted rate since you've given him a prize.
Tribe member or not tribe member?
I am a tribe member.
No.
All right. And Nepal Tourism Board, we thank you for Lord Buddha's statuette, as well as some of the other gifts on hand. Now, this has been worn by, I think, Anand, and washed in the morning and given back. So,
I insist that all the speakers wear it first, then it's given.
but he's been wiping.
And then not wash it.
Every time he took on Facebook and the internet, he was wiping his face with it, all the sweat that was pouring out.
How to make much more money?
You think? But by quitting and joining another tribe.
By not doing product innovations.
Ooh. Panel discussion should be fun. Don't miss it tonight. And this is yours as well. Big hand, Sumit. Thank you, Leah. Both of you walk into the sunset. And of course, one young girl here whose name can't be, I should not name, whatever happens, asked me if this is what Hagrid from Harry Potter will look like in the future. Alright. Okay, Sumit, always a legend. Let's, before we break into lunch, I know you're all hungry, we have that thing we love to do called the Lucky Dip. So let me call this lovely lady back on. And I want to change it because I've learned from this last experience, your discourse. We won't call it Lucky Dip, we'll call it Unlucky Dip. Right? Because the tribe basically doesn't get anything, only one person gets it. So this is an unlucky group and the one person who's lucky, we'll find out soon. Here it is. We open and it says, a marketing manager and public relations officer, and from this very hotel, and her name is Anupama Acharya Mahajan. Anupama, where are you? Right there.